What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. So in today's video, obviously we will be looking at the massive Litecoin and cryptocurrency flash crash or correction, whatever you guys want to call it. And then we will obviously be doing some technical analysis and where exactly this crash could potentially, or correction, could affect the market. Otherwise, hopefully you guys have noticed. I'm not sure if the green screen is going to mess up these over here. If they do, ignore it. It looks really good in person, but I am wearing my Crypto TV merchandise from my store. Link is in the description. Basically, I decided to purchase some of it, obviously, to test it out, see how it was, and it's actually really good. This is a Gildan tee, but it is one of the more expensive brands of tees because it is more of the stretch fit. It is the soft material, and then it's not one of those flat iron-ons that just go over the shirt, you know, that fade out in the wash and get ruined. This is actually a very, very, very good quality print, and I actually really like it, so hopefully you guys like it too. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's really nice. I think it is really good quality, and if you guys wanted to pick any of it up to help support the channel, the link is in the description, and I believe I will have a card you can click on, like right up here, right up there, right now. But otherwise, let's just jump into today's episode. So as you guys can see, we're on the current coin market cap. Market cap is 203 billion. 24-hour volume is 11.6. Bitcoin dominance 54.1. So I do believe that the Bitcoin dominance is actually higher than it was yesterday, mainly because the rest of the altcoins are being affected a lot more than Bitcoin itself. Now, as you guys can see, we have a 24-hour volume that is quite high. So one thing to point out with a 24-hour volume that is at 11.6, not extremely high, but it is a lot higher than it was yesterday, which was like 9 billion, so about 2.5 billion higher. Basically, we're seeing movement. You know, volume is coming into the market. Just because we have volume that's entering the market doesn't mean that we're going to see a bullish breakout. Even if we see high volume, it could because it could happen because we're seeing money leave the market. It basically just means a lot of traction is happening right now, and you guys can obviously tell that it's a negative as of right now, that high volume is causing the market to drop. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. Basically, the thing to remember is high volume doesn't necessarily mean bullish breakout. It could mean both. It could mean high and low. Just understand that when high volume is in play, that means movement is happening. When we saw that low volume, we weren't really seeing anything. Otherwise, market cap is 203. We see like a $6 billion drop from yesterday. So obviously that is pretty much showing you guys that the money has dropped. That volume has made the market leave or drop lower in terms of how much money is on the exchanges. And obviously we can scroll down here and you can see top 10 cryptos are all in red. You could see the price graph right here. We had a lot of stability, a lot of sideways movement. You can literally see like Bitcoin Cash, EOS were literally flatlined. You know, Litecoin was flatlined, and now you guys can see Bitcoin dropped and they all followed pursuit. So there are some that did the opposite. I mean, they're all down, but obviously some are down a little less than others, but you can see most is down by 2, 3, 4, 5%. But the market is pretty much all red. They are all down by like 5 or 6%, which isn't a huge drop. We've seen it down 20% in the past, all in red, which is wild. But Polymath does seem to be taking advantage of this downtrend, doing a reversal of the market. Same thing with Funfair, but for the most part, majority of this market is in red. So we are going to be talking about how that could potentially affect the market as a whole, you know, where we're expecting to go forward to from here on out. I did have this article though by ABRA Crypto. I think I've used this numerous times in the past, but basically they say flash crash, XRP, Litecoin, Tron, Cardano dragged down by the bear to the death zone. So what exactly are they referring to? And I guess this has reference to do with like Halloween coming up. But basically it says as a sudden fallback of the top 10 cryptos, and I wouldn't call it a sudden fallback. We have literally been tracking this for the past like week or two. So we were all, you know, on top of this. We knew something was coming. We were, you know, hoping, or I wouldn't even say hoping. I know a lot of you guys were hoping, but we were tracking to see if a bullish movement was about to happen, and we were anticipating, cushioning a bearish move, and obviously, as you can see, a bearish move happened. So I guess we are not yet out of that bearish market. I do think, I heard a lot of the comments that we had in the past. This is actually lower than what it was prior to last year, which is wild. Last year, on October 29th, Litecoin was higher than what it is now, which is very, very, very interesting. We can obviously take a look at that in a second. But it says Litecoin, the seventh largest crypto, dropped by 4.7% within the hour. At the time writing, Litecoin was trading at 48.89 with a market of 2.8 and with the 24-hour volume of 340 million. Obviously, you can see they're all following pursuit. They were all dropping. It's very wild to see them all flash crash. But obviously, we knew it was expected. And honestly, it wasn't that big of a drop. So I did want to look at that. So here we are right now. We are looking at Litecoin right now, US to US dollar. You can see we're pretty much bottomed out in terms of our relative strength index. You can see you're pretty much trading at around 30, 29, 30. Really not that bad at all. Pretty much bottomed out. So in terms of we are not going lower, when we were down here at around 47, 46, we were very low and we were due to pull back up. And you can see we kind of are retracing. Usually flash crashes do in terms form some sort of retracement upwards, and I do think this is about level for the market. This is at equilibrium right now. This is the retracement we were looking for. But obviously, I'm just going to move us onto a more in-depth scale. So here we are on the 4-hour, and you can see what exactly we were tracing and tracking the past couple of days. I do just want to pull this up, make it look a little bit better. So obviously, here you go. This is what we were looking at. This is what we were following. So you can see Litecoin started to form some sort of descending triangle, and we were tracking this ever since, I would like to say, October 16th. So it's been about 2.5 weeks, and we were tracking this very, 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 very close up and in detail, as you guys remember, and we were watching it form, and you can see the downwards pressure that we had. We were funneling into here. I made that video yesterday, and then obviously you can see what exactly happened. We tried to break bullish, and we literally just tanked and fell lower, but it wasn't out of the blue. It wasn't something that we weren't expecting. This is why I think that graphing can help you guys out. This would have been a good buying opportunity, literally for a short swing, a short trade. You could have bought it at 47, sold all the way up at 48, or you could wait till it goes back up to $52. You bought, 100 coins. You put in like $4,000, which is something that I personally do, is use bigger numbers, and you can make a lot more money on these smaller movements. You could have made $200, $300, $400. For a college student, that's a lot of money. So that's why I'm saying this is good in my books. You trading with $7 or $6,000, you have to get good at it though. You don't just want to, put all your money in at once. You got to have some play money. So maybe for some bigger people who have, a couple grand that they can play around with, this is what I'm recommending. And then, high risk, high reward. But if it doesn't affect you that much, you can see also that on the 4-hour, we are extremely oversold. We are literally at 17. We are so bottomed out. You can see this would have been a really good buying opportunity at 47, sold it up here. And honestly, I do think on the 4-hour, we are looking like we could, trade a little bit more sideways and then pull back up even farther, basically to where I have this this white line drawn. So I am anticipating some sort of retracement back up, at least in the short term on the 4-hour. Maybe nothing too brutal because we are not oversold on the daily for Litecoin, but we do look pretty good. We were obviously anticipating some sort of breakout. Obviously, it did break out, it just didn't break up. It broke down from this breakout. So moving on to Litecoin. Hopefully that helped you guys with Bitcoin. For Litecoin. Now we're moving on to Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin was a little bit harder to track. It was good to use other altcoins too to help judge where Bitcoin could potentially pull. Because if you looked at Bitcoin's chart right now, we're literally just trading sideways. There's no real point of reversal. You can see here there was no ascending triangle, descending triangle forming. It was literally just flatlined, sideways movement. There wasn't any momentum at all. So when we used Litecoin, we were at least able to find where we were looking for some sort of movement. So Bitcoin was a little bit harder, but if you use Litecoin, you would be able to justify that it was going to happen. With Bitcoin right around here, you can see we are oversold on the 4-hour. You can see we did break bearish. I do think we're going to hold 6,288 indeed, because I drew previous support right here. So that does seem to be like where we fell to. You can see where I have it drawn in the past. Oops, did not mean to do that. You can see right here, we just have a lot of resistance prior. I do just want to move on to Ethereum. I don't even know why that reset. But if you see on Ethereum, we do have an interesting play here. So what I wanted to point out with Ethereum is we managed to form some sort of descending triangle like Litecoin. Formed a descending triangle. We actually broke out of it ish. You know, this wasn't a strong descending triangle compared to Litecoin. Litecoin was very strong in terms of its downtrend that was forming here. It held very well. Litecoin was Ethereum was a little more, you know, not as fluid. You can see right here. And then we managed to break out of it, and we were testing our, you know, high-low MMA. You can see we are tanked also, so they're all, you know, destined to pull up a little bit higher in terms of price. But the fact that it's hard to judge with Ethereum, so what you would have to do is use Bitcoin and Litecoin to kind of judge where the pullback would take place or the breakout would take place in other alts like Ethereum and like XRP and so on and so forth. So you don't just want to look at one coin. You want to look at numerous coins and then base judgment, because normally they all kind of are intertwined. Some just look a little bit better than others. So looking at XRP for its last coin, you can see, again, very similar to Bitcoin in terms of just trading sideways. We're not really seeing much of a like pattern or formation or triangle that formed on XRP. You can just see sideways movement. You can obviously tell, though, we were having a lot of resistance trying to break above our 4-hour high-low MMA. You can see we kind of bottomed out. You can see we're back pretty much. You know, XRP did not get affected that much. You know, it really just fell back down to where it was prior. So you can see right here, this is where our support is. You can see we've had it 1, 2. This is the third time, and I don't think we're going to break much farther down than where it's at right now. Also, the 4-hour is, we're not oversold anymore, so I do think we're going to stay out right here, and I do think we're probably going to head back up and retest that green band. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the video for today, guys. Hopefully that helped some of you in terms of where the price is headed. If I didn't elaborate, I do think we're just going to trade, you know, a little bit more sideways, but I think on the 4-hour in the short term, we are going to pull back up, and I'm shooting for around $49.73, $50 for Litecoin. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Make sure to check out that Crypto TV merch. It feels so soft, guys. It is a very good quality print. And then I will see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Peace.